Good morning. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning here on the mountain. We had a fair amount of rain last night and the ground is saturated. So this is our coral bell heuchera bed. It's beginning to fill in. Plan is it'll be a solid patchwork at some point. Do you see what we've got here? Yeah, looking good. Now what I really wanted to share with you today is our hydrangeas here. I bought these when I first moved in 7 years ago, so they're at least 6 years old, I think. And I planted them in front of the veranda, and they didn't get any full sun, not even for an hour or two. Lots of indirect light. And I hadn't done my research, and the nursery had recommended, that I could cut them back. Like you can cut them back like a third, right? Well, they were not happy, and I realized they need more sun, so I brought them up here. So here they probably get at least 4 hours of sun, or in very strong indirect sun. But this is the best they have ever done. Can you see that? Now we have loamy soil, so our pH must be very low. Contrast to Laura on Laura Answer. She's got high pH, no plant material in her soil, and she has to take that into account. There's some plants that simply will not do well. So here ours are kind of a lavendery with maybe starting to get some green, so we'll watch those. Now these right here I think are daisies that come up every year on their own. Now we've had a very cool spring. I don't think we've had more than 7 or 8 days that got up above 72. And I think that's why my perennials that come back from seed have not started much. Now those daisies, that's pretty phenomenal. They're coming back. They get some sun in there. But all along here, do you see how beautiful the hostas are? They're getting ready to bloom. But I have coleus and I have impatiens that were planted all along here, and many of them came up from the previous year. So we do have a lot of little let's see if I can get in there and show you. I'm going to get my shoes all wet. Well, here's an example. Do you see all that little green there? I'm going to see if I can pull you in a little bit more. You see all that? That is most probably my impatiens coming up. So we'll watch and see how that does. I can see from here that there's some pretty strong green up in there. So there's a possibility that they're actually starting to come back. Now let's walk and see what our other hydrangeas are doing. And you see all the blossoms coming up on these little miniature hostas. They're going to break out in blooms very shortly. I think there's some kind of juniper here. It's a ground cover. It doesn't get more than, this has been here since the beginning. Maybe 6 to 8 inches tall, and it's dense and it's absolutely tough. Now those were supposed to be big leaf size coleus, and for some reason or other they're not doing a whole lot. We'll see what happens here. Okay, so here's another hydrangea. And we don't cut this one back. And it comes back every year. Peonies came out like 2 months ago, and they're all done already. Very happy where we planted them. These azaleas that we moved from the veranda have tripled in size. Azaleas are pretty much done on our property. Here's a oak leaf hydrangea. Leaves will get different colors here pretty soon. There's another white hydrangea that's finally taking hold. We need to do some weeding, I think. This was replacement for one we lost a couple of years ago when the temperature got down to -2. You really need to keep that in mind when you're planting your bones of your garden. You know, every 10, 20 years, you'll get really, really cold, and you're way colder than your zone area, and it's going to kill some of your plants. Now, would you look? This is a stilby. I don't remember it's supposed to be in that color. Anyway, I bought these again that first year. It'd be like 6, 7 years ago. And they were bare root. It came in a little plastic bag that had holes in it with some. And they have taken this long to get good roots. And then this is the best flowering we've ever seen. I kind of swore off of buying anything that was going to take 5 years to take hold. I'm not like Laura. She puts things out in her garden that look good from day one. That's because she's from a nursery, you know, commercial nursery background. She wants things to look good from day one. And that's okay. So these are our daylilies. Daylilies, Liriope. These plants are and hostas are very good at preventing soil erosion. And because we have such a steep incline all over the mountain here, we have to plant things that will hold the soil in. So when the rain comes, it would wash all the topsoil away and all the leaf debris. And we'd have hard clay soil left. And we did have some places with the Helene where the soil did get pretty much washed away. Oh, there's some more still. Oops, sorry about that. There's some more stilby. We planted some things throughout the moss garden, and a lot of them have taken 5 or 6 years to take hold. We'll come out and show you that another day. But today it's about hydrangeas. And these, oh, would you look at these? These are, I believe, French blue. And these were a gift from a friend of mine. And this was the first one that came. And then she brought me 2 more. And this little one down here was incredibly small. I mean, maybe 10 inches. And I had no hope of it taking hold. But look at that. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blossoms. Yeah, really beautiful. Now, because we've had the rain and it hits the blossoms and makes the blossoms heavy, they fall over. And they'll perk up pretty much. And if they don't, well, then they crawl along the ground, like this one is doing. But it's the way it is sometimes, right? Okay. So we've had such an incredibly cool that an awful lot of things just have not done. Oh, look at this. We need to stake this up. These are our get these big dishpan sized blossoms. That's the biggest that's ever been. Wow. Okay, so we have some work to do here. And see, we have things coming back. Here's the impatiens coming back. My brother 2 years ago, he put out impatiens here, and they've reseeded themselves. Isn't that amazing? Wow. So it was the hydrangeas that pulled me out to the garden today. Thank you for doing my morning walk. Oh, you can see the sun coming through the top of the mountain. We're still in shade from the morning sun, and you can see it's like fire on the trees over there that are getting some sun. It's one of the most charming things about living where I live. The light changes from hour to hour, and the way it casts shadows on everything's incredible. Well, we have lots of work to do. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a real pleasure. Have a great day.